Hello everybody, welcome back to RainBro Crafts. My name is Colton and today I will be making for you our Vantucky Mule Path soap. This soap is inspired by our best-selling candle of the same name, Vantucky Mule. So stay tuned and see how we make this Vantucky Mule soap. Alrighty, we are going to get this Vantucky soap making started. So this is going to start out just like all of our other soap. We will be blending our lye water and our sodium lactate in with our plant-based oil blend, and that blend is down in the description box below so you can check that out. One adjustment to the normal process, and you may have seen that, is that there was some mica in the oil base, and that mica was the Snowflake Ultra Sparkle mica from Brambleberry. This is a really fun mica. They have like 2 or 3 of these where the mica is actually visible in the finished product, the glittery part. And so that is the only colorant we're adding into this soap, is the Snowflake Ultra Sparkle mica. I also just added in that colloidal oatmeal slurry, which is colloidal oatmeal and water, and put that through a fine mesh strainer to get out any lumps and clumps. And this fragrance blend is actually a copy of our candle by the same name. It is red saffron and ginger, and then also blood orange. And this fragrance is inspired by a Moscow Mule, the cocktail. We had to give it a local name, so we called it a Vantucky Mule, which Vantucky is a nickname for Vancouver, Washington, especially for the more rural parts of the area. For this fragrance, I was unsure of how it would react with the soap base. It was soap safe, so I hand whisked it in. It didn't accelerate, which was great. So next time I can use the stick blender. And then this is a path soap, which means we put in some of our soap shreds from when we bevel our soap edges into the soap base, so we can basically use as much of that soap as possible and reduce the amount of waste we have. The amount of soap shreds I added here was about 20 ounces or so. I should have added things in a little more slowly because I was just making a gigantic mess here. The key thing when you're adding in soap shreds, or really any embeds that are a little more chunky and not like mica, is that you want to make sure it's blended really thoroughly so you don't have any air pockets in the finished bar. Not that it affects the use, it just doesn't look quite as nice. So I hand stirred in those soap shreds just to make sure that there was no air bubbles, and then I will scrape out the container. This soap is a fairly simple design, but it's really fun because those soap shreds look like little funfetti birthday cake or something, and so I wanted to let that speak for itself. But with that Ultra Sparkle mica from Brambleberry that we have in here, it actually does have a shimmer that you can see in the finished bar. It's easier to see in person than on camera though. And then for the top, I'm going to take some more soap shreds that I kind of just crunched up with my fingers and do just 3 lines of those to use a little more shreds to also clearly advertise that that is what is also in the bar soap, but it just kind of added a fun little extra design. We have been toying around with adding this soap, the fragrance at least, to our fan favorites lineup for a while now, but previously the blood orange fragrance oil that we are using in this was not soap safe. It's from our candle supplier, Candle Science, but they reformulated it, and so now it is, which is great. So you'll probably see this soap on our store and in person for a while now. I then spritzed it with some rubbing alcohol and tucked that soap away for 24 hours, covered up just to keep it nice and warm, and then I went ahead and beveled the edges. This doesn't do a whole lot at this stage, it just makes it look a little cleaner, and it makes finishing the bars a little easier in a month when we go to steam the soap and do all of that stuff. The one downside of this soap is that those shreds get everywhere. You can see they all kind of just, not all of them, they kind of just flop off. And so I added on basically double what I was wanting in the finished bar because I knew that that was going to happen. So it's kind of a pain. They're not as big of a pain as with the botanicals from like lavender buds or rose petals or things like that though, so we'll probably continue with this. And then I broke out Dorothy, our multi-bar soap cutter, and I sliced those soap bars up. Next time I make this soap though, I will actually flip the soap loaf upside down so the shreds are on the bottom, and that keeps everything nice and together while cutting and makes it a little sturdier basically. We also have 2 more path soaps coming out for the month of November. We have a grapefruit rosemary path, and then we have one called Money, which is really good, so you'll see those videos here probably in the next month or so. But that is it. That is our Vantucky Path soap, which will be for sale November 1st online and in person. Definitely check this out if you like a citrusy, gingery kind of soap. Thanks to our foamy homies and our suddy buddies for your support. We really appreciate it. If you want to become a foamy homie or suddy buddy and get soaps of the month from us, discount codes, and shout outs, check our website out, rainbrocrafts.com. You can also subscribe to our channel, like this video, share, and comment as well. All of those things help us. Thank you. Bye.